This conference will now be recorded.
So in our last class, we were talking about the stuff. Uh, Let me go ahead. Okay, so some part yesterday also we missed. I will quickly cover all these, and then we will go ahead and we will see in detail. Uh, okay, fine. So in our last class, we got stuck at one point. I got resolved that one. I will just share with you what was the problem. Let me go over there, and we were using the exit routine, and exit routine was not working with alpha. Okay, with the new syntax it was not working, it was giving the dump. So the problem was the length over there. I will just quickly go and show you what is the problem. It was 18 or 19 program, something like that. I think it's 19. It's not 19, it's 18. Yes, this was the program which we have created yesterday, and it was giving the dump. So the problem was, I will tell you once again, either it will not give any result or it will go into the dump. Okay, so yesterday I was not specifying this width, and you know that a material exit routine, when we are going to use the exit slash so SE38, the overall length it is 18. Okay, overall length is 18 over there. If we go to that particular routine, MATNR, double click over here, and you can see the output length is 40, the routine is MATN1. So when we are using this conversion matter input routine, double click over here, it will take us to the function module page. I'm going to run it, and if I'm going to give something over here, for example 19 f8, you can see the overall length is 18 only. Okay, overall length is 18, but here what is happening, that this material number, if we're going to give, if we're not going to give anything, if we're not going to specify anything, the material number length by default it is taking the 40 characters. Okay, because the MATNR data element length is of 40 characters. If we go and check in S4 HANA system, in S4 HANA system, material length has uh, material length has changed from 18 characters to 40 characters. You can see the char 40. Okay, in ECC system, in ECC, in normal ERP system, we are having still char 18 over there, but in S4 HANA, this material number has become Matner char 40. Okay, because the table and all the complete design had been changed, right? So here it is of only 18 characters. If you count it, it's 18 characters. By default, if I was using over here yesterday, what we were able to see that it was taking the 40 characters, and because it was taking the 40 characters, you can see that it is the length is of 40 characters. If you count it, it will be of 40 characters. Okay, I will show you that it is of 40 characters. So there I can quickly count it. Let me put it in form of text. Okay, and here we can get this function length and we can find it out. So you can see the 40 length of this character is 40. So by default it is taking that particular length. Now if we go ahead F6, and you can see it is giving the size of RC4, because it should be 18 character only. So what we are supposed to do, that we are supposed to specify the length, how much length you want to use, right? So width equal to 18 I'm just going to use. So what it will do, it will take only the 18 characters length from the right. Okay, so like this we can specify the length. And now if we go press F6, and you can see that it is of 18 characters only, and this time it will give size of RC0. That means it is getting the data over here, right? This is the data we are having. And here this AAA is coming. There is a reason behind that. Using some LPAD function. So let me remove that one. I will show you what is this LPAD function. So simply I'm going to use the Matner over here, Mara, and some another field, maybe MTAT, MATKL, and MBRSH. Check the syntax. Now some error is there. It is telling Matner into this data. What is the problem? If host variable, okay, comma we have to use, because the strict syntax check gets enabled whenever you are going to use at the rate, or means you must have to use the throughout new OpenSQL. If any of the places, if you have used the new OpenSQL syntax, then you must have to use throughout the OpenSQL. Okay, so here I was not giving the comma, that's why it was giving the error. But now I have given the comma, the new syntax, new OpenSQL, we must have to give the comma. So now it's fine. And press F6, LV underscore Matner 19. You can see that 0 and ls underscore Mara. In this work area, we can nicely have this data. Press F8 and you can see that data got populated. Fine. So already I have put this stuff in this PPT somewhere. Okay, so that like what was the problem and how we got rectified. Somewhere I have put
I have a query, Pankaj, actually in this query.
Yes, yeah.
Basically, it's S4 HANA system, and then why are we restricting to 18 characters? Because in the database table level, it should have 40 character length, right? Then why we are sending it 18 characters?
Yeah. This is a good question. Actually, I'm also searching since 2 years for this answer. I'm not getting. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah. One more thing, Pankaj. Actually, host variable we can use the normal SQL also, right? It's there is no like condition to use the new SQL. It should use only in the new SQL, right?
First condition means host variable, right? This one.
Yeah. Host variable we can use in the normal SQL also, right? Not in like in the new SQL.
No, host variable in normal SQL it is not means you can use there. The provision is there to use, but there at the rate is not required. This escape character is not required. The same syntax, if you are going to write in the old way, means in the old OpenSQL, you can remove this comma, remove this comma, remove this comma, and this at the rate is not required. Okay, at the rate data also you don't have to give, because it will not support in the old SQL. What you will have to do, you will have to create one structure. Okay, so I will just quickly create one structure. Types begin of ts underscore Mara.
And that's fine, Pankaj. That's fine.
Yeah. So means what I wanted to show you. So like this you can use. This is the host variable only, right? This is the host variable. This is also host variable. Host variable means ABAP variable. Host means Atithi. In Hindi we tell Atithi, right? Host means Mejban, right? Mejban, the person who is going to serve, right? So here we are having the ABAP variable. So this data is coming from the database, and this is behaving like your Mejban, your host, right? So this is the guest, MATNR, MTAT, MATKL, MBRSH, which is coming from the Mara table, and this is the host variable, and this is again host variable. This host variable is taking care of all these guest variable, something like that.
Okay, yeah,
fine. Check this. And okay, so we have seen, and these things also we have written in PPT also somewhere. Okay, I have disabled everything. Okay, I will enable this part also, remove this. Fine, so yeah, this you understood. Okay, fine, I'm just going to save it. It will give some error. Okay, I will check it and I will put it. I will correct it later. I have shown you how it is working, right? Here there is no problem, right? Okay, go to another part, and we will be having, you know, please mute from your side. Some background noise is coming. Whoever is on, yeah, thank you. So fine. So I wanted to share some stuff yesterday itself, but I just missed it. This is also one of the important part when we have to perform the string operation. Generally, with the old syntax and with before 7.40, like that, what we used to do, that we used to get the data from the, we used to get the data from the, let me write one new program, ZMB 03 APR, and here we can give the program number 20. Maybe it's already there. So okay, so already I have created this program, so there itself we can go and we can check. Does not exist. It is telling does not exist. So which one is that? Actually, I don't remember. Demo 19. Okay, no, it is not the one. I will create a new program over here. Click on this create button. It's some program already we are having the seal, and okay, we were talking about it yesterday. Okay, fine. And /n SE38 21, the program number 21 just will create quickly in order to see that one. 21 also already exists. Okay, fine. This is for different purpose I have created. 22, I will show you. It is not there. And now inbuilt SQL function. Okay, inbuilt open SQL string function. Okay, so this we will see what are the inbuilt open SQL string function are there. So we will see over here there are many, like concatenation. So we don't have to get the data at you don't have to get the data at application server layer, and then you will have to process this data there itself. While putting the select query itself, what we can do, we can use this all SQL, all this function, and by this way what we can do, we can achieve the code push down. So this is the benefit. So we'll see in detail that part. Let's go over there and we will see how we can do that one. Okay, so let me go. It's taking some time. Click on the save button. It's fine. Executable program, click on the save local object, and here we can see that. So I will take some example over here and I will show you what actually I'm going to do. Just a second. Okay, fine. Is it working fine? Are you able to hear me properly?
I can hear you.
Okay, fine. So here let's go and the string function we are having already here. I have written these are the all string function which we have. Okay, and for this, just to demonstrate stuff, you know, this is the list of the string function mostly, and here in detail I have prepared one document. Okay, and here I have pasted it. So in a summary way, in a summarized way, just I will tell you with the help of one example. So let's start one example over there. Go to the program, and what I will do that, uh, we have a table. SAP has provided one table called demo expression. So we will consider that particular table, demo expressions, and from this table we'll try to understand this table, how it looks like. MNDT is the client field, ID is there, some ID they have defined. Num1 is the field of type integer 4, num2 is type integer 4, long one integer 8, right? So decimal 1, decimal 2. So this is the name of the field actually. Okay, they have kept in such a way that so that we will be able to understand what kind of data type is there. So this is the decimal data type, again decimal data type. The field name is the similar to the data type, right? So char1 is also a field name of this particular table, and the data type for this is char10. For char2 also, char10 is the data type, you can see, but the field name is char1 and char2. So they have kept like this. We will use this table in order to understand this particular inbuilt string uh, inbuilt string SQL function. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I will prepare some data over there. Okay, so that it will be easy for us to understand. So let's define one data, insert. What I'm going to do that, I will insert some record. So the table name is insert demo expressions, the table name. So I'm just giving insert demo expressions, and what data I want to give, that I want to give this data, and see how now it has been easy. Directly I'm preparing the data and I'm going to insert this particular value inside the database. Okay, so otherwise what we'll have to do, I will have to prepare an internal table, and then from the internal table I have to use the insert this from the table, right? But here directly I'm preparing the table with the help of new syntax. So id equal to, I'm going to give some any id we can give. Let's give 123 as a id, or let me give some id name is demo. I will have to see what is the data type for this id. It is char1, only one character id is there, so maybe I can keep it the id as a one character z. Okay, so z is the id for this particular record. This is the key field, and the char1 is my the char1 is my field name, and for this field name one space I'm going to give it over here, and then we are having the char2, and for this char2 I'm just going to give some data over here, maybe uh ram there. Okay, so this is the data I'm having. Okay, and let's stop let's close with the parenthesis. Okay, so value a hash we have given, right? So for this hash, okay, 1 2 3, so one more closing bracket we should have. Now it's fine. Check the syntax, it is fine. So here it will insert this particular data. So this is the data, just observe, this is the data which I'm taking over here. Now this data I'm inserting, and the same data I'm going to get in the select query, so that it will be easy for us to understand how it's going to give the result, right? So let's write the select query, select single. Okay, and uh, select single. After this, what we can do that, char1 as original text, I can write original text 1, original text 1, char1 as a original text 1, then give the comma, then char2 is your original text, right? Original text 2, give the comma, And now let's start the SQL function. Okay, so one is we know already. I have concat function we know, but still let me show you once again. So this particular char1 and char2 I'm going to fetch. Okay, so here in the where condition I will put in the where condition this id equal to z. So this particular record I have inserted into the particular table from demo expressions, and the same record I'm just fetching it. Okay, from this particular table I'm getting the record where id equal to z, right? And this record only, and here the concat. So the field is what? Char1 and char2 is my field, so I'm going to concatenate it. Char1, this is the field, and then you can give the comma over here, and after that char2 as concat. This is the concat function. Okay, then we have the concat with a space. Concat with, here you will have to give the comma. Okay, so automatically it will suggest concat with a space, and if you are going to use this char1 comma char2, automatically one space will come. So it is similar to concatenate string 1 string 2 into string 3 separated by a space, like that it will come. So char1 and char2 we have to uh, specify, and here you have to specify if you want to give the space, separated by a space or separated by one, or whatever you want to put the separator. You can put the separator over here, concat with a space. Okay, so this will be have like a separator. Now uh, uh, okay, fine, just go here and then concat with a space is okay. Here we'll give some alias concat with a space. Okay. Now we are having the another function. That function is let me check once that function. I think it was in string. Yes, in string, then left length and lower. Okay, so in string is also one function. instr is the, here you'll have to give the comma, just to give the comma so that it will come. And for the in string, what we'll have to give that that particular value for, like, actually this particular syntax is telling us that this char1, this particular this in this char1, you can see in this char1 this 1 2 is at what place, this 1 2 at which place. So it tells the gives the position of 1 2 in this 0 1 2 3 respecting blank value. Okay, so let's go here, and in a string, in this char1, in char1 I'm going to search for this uh, let's suppose I'm going to look for this 2 3 value. Okay, as in a string position. Okay, in a string position it will give you the position. Then another, we are having the left. So what this left will do, it will take from the left whatever value will specify. So from left 3 value if you want to specify, so it will take the 3 value. Then we are having the length. Okay, so the length, if you want to see the length, how it's how what is the length of char1 or char2, I'm just using the char2 over here. So length, and then after this length you can use the lower. Lower is also one inbuilt function. It is going to convert the character into the lower format, so as lower string. Then upper is also one function is there. So if we're going to convert this char2 in upper as upper. So there are many function has been introduced, and it is very handy in implementation project if we have some and where we have to do some manipulation. This is one very interesting we are having the L pad. Okay, this is also known as left padding. Okay, I have written over here in detail about the left padding. Here some hints also I have given over here. You can just read it out. Here I will just make you understand. So no need of going through all this documentation, and if you want to learn each and every condition and all these things, of course you can go over here. But I'm just summarizing over here in the, if these two slides is more important. Hello, hello.
Yeah, Pankaj.
Yeah, sorry, I'm facing frequently the internet issue here. Internet problem is there. Means actually electricity problem is there. It's going on and
Okay.
coming on. That's why.
Fine, fine. No problem.
Yeah. So here the LPAD, this is going to be important function. So what actually I was showing over here, that these two particular slides is very, very important. If you are going through these two slides, you will understand all this string function. I have written everything in summarized way over here. Okay. Come over here, and this LPAD, what this LPAD is going to do, suppose if you are having this particular string or this particular string. Okay, and this particular, in this particular string, or let me come over here, car2, and for this particular string you can specify the length in which it can be write justified. Okay, so what I mean to say is, this is of currently how many characters, 1 2 3 4 5, 5 characters, right? So you can give here the 10 characters. So now what it will do, that what I'm trying to show you over here, that we are having, you can see the text is, what is this text is left justified automatically, right? So suppose if this is 0 1 2 3. Okay, this is 0 1 2 3, and let me use this particular, and here it is now right justified. So if you're going to use the lpad function, and if we're going to give the length 10, okay, currently its length is 4, right? So its length is like this, 4. If we're going to give the 10, it will become like this, and the left value will be padded with the value we are going to give over there. So suppose if we're going to give x over there, so automatically it will be padded, it will be filled. Padding means it will get filled. Okay, so it will be automatically filled. So whatever, suppose if we're going to give the length 50 over there, then this length is going to get increased automatically, and all the left side value will be padded with X, and the space is going to get filled with X. That's the meaning of LPAD. It's very frequently used function, LPAD. Okay, so here char2 I am using. Here you can see that in char2 1 2 3 4 5 6 characters are there. So this Ramdev I'm going to put into the 6 character. I'm going to put in the space of let's suppose 20 characters. Okay, so now how much characters we are left from the is left from the left side? It's a 6 characters, so 14 characters is left from the left side, because now this Ramdev will be accommodated in 20 characters length, and that the 14 characters which is left from the left side, that is going to fill with X. That's what I'm going to give this command. Okay, so this is known as the left padding. Okay, as pad, LPAD means left pad. Okay, left pad. Now similarly, what we are having the right pad also. Okay, so it will get padded from the right. So char2, I'm going to give the 20 characters once again, and it will be automatically, you know, get left justified. This left padding, this will be automatically get the original character will be right justified. Okay, in left padding, original character will be right justified, and the left space is going to get filled with the value I'm giving over here. In the right pad, here also let me give the R over here. Okay, as right pad, and this one is going to, you know, left justified automatically. Just when it will be there in the same, earlier also it will be there in the left justified only, and now also it will be there in the left justified position only. And the right value here, like if we are having the 1 to 3, right? So this is not the text here. If we are having the 1 to 3, you know, the right value is going to get, this right value is going to get filled X. So just opposite of left padding. Okay, so this is, I have seen at many places people have been using nowadays. Okay, this left pad and right pad, it's very good, very handy function to use at many places. Okay, so instead of X, I'm just giving L over here to denote left pad, right pad, and come over here. After that, we are having the function on LTrim. So what this function will do, so it will trim the space from the left. Okay, it will trim the space from the left. So suppose it is not only trim the space, but whatever the matching, if we're giving the space over here, so it will check if the space is there, it will trim. If some value is there, for example here we are having R, right? So if we're going to give the R, it will check if it is R is there, it will just trim it. If we're going to give A and M over here, okay, A and M, so it will check and it will trim this RAM. So if you want to trim the space, you can simply give the space over here, it will trim. So one space you can see over here I'm given, so it will just trim this space and it will give you the value. So L trim, uh, L trim, let it be like L trim only. Okay, so and one more, we are having the replace. Okay, so what this replace is going to do, that suppose in this car one, if you want to replace this 1 2 with suppose this 1 2 you want to replace with some underscore or 5 6, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to give this 1 2, so it will search in this tier 1, it will search for this 1 2 and then give the comma, and I want to replace this 1 2 with let's suppose uh, uh, RE, something like that. So that replace 1 2 is going to get replaced with RE, and that's it. Now after this replace, we are also having some function. Let me check over here. So replace, we have covered lpad, ltrim, write, rpad, rtrim. Also we are having substring upper from into. Okay, oh, from is a thing, not a function. Rpad, rtrim, substring, and upper also we have covered. Fine. So let's go and we will see about the substring or rtrim. Rtrim have we covered? No. So rtrim, you can use it over here, rtrim. So it will trim from the right. Left trim will trim from the left, and right trim will trim from the right. So suppose if we have some space over here from the Ramdev, so what I will do that char 2, okay, give the comma, and now let's trim from the right. So I'm just giving the space over here as rtrim. Now we have another function called substring. So substring, the substring, what it will tell you, that it will give you the substring actually. So here you can see that we are having Ramdev over here, right? So in this string, I want, or maybe char1 itself, I'm going to take char1. From this char1, I'm telling to that from third to fourth, right? From third to fourth means 23 I want to represent. So what is 23? 23, you can see 2 is at what place? 1, 2, 3, fourth. So 2 is at fourth place. So I'll have to give the fourth over here, and from fourth, how many character you want to take? So 2 character I want to display, because 23 I'll have to display. So 2 I'm just giving. So as substring, as sub from 1 to 3, 3 to 4. Okay, 3 to 3, 3 to from 3. So I'm starting from 3, from 3 next to, okay, from 3 next 1. Okay, just giving the name like this, and come over here. Then another value what we have, upper already we have done, it's fine, almost we have covered everything. Okay, so overall this is the idea about this, and the from already I have mentioned over here. Let me check. Yes, so give this from demo expression, fine, and into clause we'll have to specify. So into at the rate of data one single, because I'm using, so I will use the work area over here, ls underscore SQL function, something like that. I have used it over here. No space, no extra space is required. That's it. This is my data, and CL demo output. CL demo output display. Then we are going to give this ls SQL function. Directly we can give like this over here. Control V, full stop. Okay. Petty printer, check the syntax. Some problem is there. Okay, it is telling about give some space, so I'm just giving the space over here. One more place is there, here also I'm giving the space. Let me check the syntax now. Was expected. Okay, give some space, check the syntax. Demo expressions is not declared as a table. Okay, projection view or database view in ABAP dictionary. Let me check some. Double click over here. Okay, some mistake is there in a spelling mistake. We'll just copy from there, copy this one, and I will paste it over here. Control V, check the syntax now, and that error is gone. char2 is there actually, so char2 is fine now. The parameter number 3 must have a type of I. Okay, what is the parameter 3 over here? Concat. Okay, okay, fine. So actually here we cannot give the underscore. Here you can see we cannot separate by underscore. Actually it is the function to separate by 1 space or 2 space or 3 space. So here we'll have to give the integer value. So if you want to give with the 2 space, if you want to, you know, concat with two space, so it will give the two space in between. Now check the syntax. Okay, the expression that start with 2 however has the type C. Okay, so we don't have to put in uh, single quotes. It is here expecting the integer. Check the syntax now. Okay, it's almost we are the end of select. Here it does not support because the reason behind, I will explain this one why it is not supporting, and that's why the into clause, it was not there earlier. This into clause at the last of the, if you try with the old syntax, and I think this into clause has been introduced from 7.50. It was not there even in 7.40 also. Check this one. Okay, now what is the problem? This ID, it is okay. Substring, something is there. If inline declares are you, all persons in the projection list must have an alias. Some alias are missing somewhere. Here we are missing this alias, so replace as replace. And now check the syntax. Invalid. What is invalid? CL demo output display. It looks good. Check the spelling. Okay. Do you have to give the space? Yeah. Activate it, activate, and press F8. Once you press it, you can see here, you can observe how the data is there. See, this is the original text 1, that means char 1 0 1 2 3. Original text 2 Ramdev over here. After concatenation, so without concatenation it has done 0 1 2 3 Ramdev, right? And here concatenate with a space, you can see 2 space, so 2 space in between. If you're going to give 3 space, more space will come. Here you can see the in string position. Okay, in string position 4, so 4 is showing the position for what? This 23. So the 23 is what position? You can see over here 1 2 3 4. So first matching character in this string position, it will tell you. So the first matching character is 2 of the is 23, so it's giving the 4 over there. Fine. Okay, so now it is giving the dump because with the same key again I'm going to insert the data. Already this data has been inserted in that key. Either will have to delete the table. Okay, so maybe I can use this delete from clause, so many times I can execute. So demo expressions. Okay, and then I can use this commit work so that it will be completely removed from there, and again I will insert this one so that it will not give me the error. Okay, now it's fine, and you can see there here the in stream position you understood left 0 1, so I have given the left 0 1, so the first three character I have chosen over there. So you can see the 0 1, it is telling the first one is the space and then 0 1, so first three character from the left it is showing us. Okay, so left is now fine. Then the length, total length of Ramdev, you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6. So for the length I have used the Ramdev over there, and the lower string you can see the Ramdev converted from all the capital letter converted into a small letter. Here the uppercase, it has been left padding, you can see LLL has been filled in the extra spaces from the left. Right padding, you can see the right spaces had been padded with the RRR. L trim, you can see the space, there was one space in the car one, it got removed. Replace, you can see that 0 1 2 3 it was there, so 1 2 got replaced with RE, right? So like that, R trim, it will remove the space from the right side. You can see the Ramdev is coming without space, and the substring from 3 next 1. So from 3 next 1, 23 it is showing, right? That's a correct value. Correct. So here I have shown you that how you can use in your real-time implementation project. If you have to use some string function, you are supposed to use this one. You don't have to get the data first from the database table, then you have to do some manipulation on the application server. We are not supposed to do. We have to do like this. Okay, so with this inbuilt SQL function chapter is closed. If you have any question over here, please feel free to ask, or else we'll move to the next concept. Any question over here? If you have any doubt, you can also ask your question in the chat box. Okay, fine. So I believe there is no doubt. Let's go ahead and we'll see what is the next topic. So inbuilt we have completed. Now let me go this PPT, and here some logical function you are having. Okay, so most of the function, we already know, right? So this matches line exists, we have seen, right? This bool c, bool x, and x bool, you can try, you can, this is a boolean function. Okay, generally I cover in that ABAP. Okay. So this absolute, seal, floor, this we already know. Just to show, this is not the SQL function, this is the normal function. Just I have put it over here for the knowledge purpose, for information purpose, that how the new coding has been evolved in what pace. You can see that, in the coding, not in SQL function. This is not the SQL function, this is a normal stream function. You can use this stream function instead of the concatenate we have been using the condense function, right? Directly you can use this condense string function, right? So this is kind of expression based coding. Means you right hand side you will be having the operator. This is a kind of operator, right? And we'll be having the operand, and from the right side to left side, whatever the result is going to be there, it is going to get assigned. So using this function, we can use the coding in that way. We don't require a helper variable, something like that. Directly we can use this one. Okay, so here one example, you can see that 01 contains of 02. Earlier co, cn, ca, na, cs, all these things was there. Now if we have the predicate function, this string function, this is nothing but a string function only, but the name of this function is predicate function. This comes under the predicate category, right? It is predicting, contains only from, right? Contains not from, contains any from, not contains not any from, contains a string, and contains no string, right? So just for your idea, I put it over there. Let's go ahead and now the architecture of APA model we have seen, the important data also we have seen, right? And some data over here, let me go to /n uh, uh, table /n SE11 over here, and we have the table SNWD star F4. So mostly we are going to use this table, the sales order item, purchase order header, purchase order item, those table PO item, PO invoice header also we will be using, PO invoice item, right? In this EPM scenario we are going to use. So yesterday we have created some data. Let me see, some 20 records I have created. Okay, let me click on this number of 20 records is already there over here. If you want to see the record, you can see that it is in GUID format, global unique identifier format. Okay, this node key is under the global unique identifier. This is the raw string, I think it's data type. Okay, so if you want this node key in the human readable format also, like in the decimal format, this also you have one option over there that we can choose that option. Okay, and we'll be able to see that particular option over there. Okay, fine. And this is a created at, this is the timestamp. So we should have some idea about this table. That's why I'm just showing you over here that the node key, this node key is nothing but a unique representation of the record. This node key, this is the purchase order ID, this is the created by, who has created. Okay, this is the time stamp field, this is the changed by, this is the changed at what time it got changed. Then we have the note, some, if some note is there, or this is the business partner with whom the purchase order has been has been there in the contract, with whom the purchase order had been released. So this may be the vendor, right? This may be the supplier. Okay, So this what I will show you how this is looking something wizard. This is looking something differently. So we'll put in human readable format also. One option is over there while generating the table. Okay. So similarly, the SNWD underscore PO we understood. Similarly, we are having the field called SNWD underscore PO underscore item. Okay. So there we can go and observe the table. We will see that part. Let's go ahead, and we have seen the schema. What is the schema, right? Let's go into today the Hana Studio, okay, where we are going to do all the development. Okay, so all this coding and all we can do in Hana Studio. Okay, so this OpenSQL and all we can do in normal SAP GUI, that's fine. But when the CDS comes into the picture, comes into the picture, the SQL script, AMDP we can develop. Okay, AMDP we can develop in the normal GUI. No, not possible in normal GUI editor. We cannot write the AMDP coding over here, in this SAP GUI. We must have to write the code in SAP HANA Studio. Okay, in Hana Studio we'll have to write the code. Let me open this. So CDS and AMDP SQL script, everything need to be done in the Hana Studio. Information modeling, if you want to do the information modeling, though it has been getting obsolete, though it has been now not so popular, it has been, up to 2015 it was popular, it was getting popularity, but after that, because of the enhancement of the CDS up to the higher level, uh, you know so many enhancement in the CDS, and so powerful the CDS became. It provides so much functionality, and there are many drawback in the information models. That's why people started avoiding this, or even SAP also started avoiding this information model. We will see detail what is the information. We will be having some idea about that. Okay, let me go into. So here I will just try to tell you over here. Suppose if you have to do some development in ABAP, what you can do first, you have to create one project. Okay, so click on this ABAP. What you will have to do, the first step, go here, or you have to go into this file, click on this new button, and then ABAP project you have, right? Click on this ABAP, select this system, automatically the listed system will come. Click on this next button, and here click on this next. Here you'll have to provide the password. I'm just providing a password over here. And
one query actually.
yes,
When you are establishing connection between SAP HANA Studio or Eclipse with SAP,
hmm.
whether any role, whether any role we have to assign in our SAP ID, in our own ID, because actually I'm getting error like RFC failure, RFC error communication.
Yeah, so it seems some authorization issue it is there. I have never tried myself installing this HANA Studio. You can see this is my uh,
True.
remote desktop, so it is already set up. Yeah, in office also, uh, like I have not installed anything over there. It is already, so I don't have idea like how to have the connection between this. If you want, I will try to look into that, how we can.
No. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you can get some videos on the YouTube or some other places, like how what are the roles, or if you're getting the problem, maybe you can contact with your
Sure.
basis person. Okay.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
I have also not, I have used the ADT, in the
Okay.
local system. I didn't face any problem over there when I was using the ADT in the Eclipse. So it was easily, it was easily got installed. I didn't face any problem over. So that was again the demo system. I got it from the third party, and they might have given all the roles and everything. That's why I didn't face the issue. Okay.
Okay.
So here
Eclipse,
everything is already in the place.
Eclipse and HANA Studio both are similar only, right? But yes, HANA Studio belongs to SAP, but still both are similar only, right? Whether we have any additional features than Eclipse in HANA Studio?
So see, if we talk about the HANA Studio and ADT on Eclipse. We have two options for the HANA related, ABAP development. For example, if we're going to create some CDS, if we're going to create some AMDP, if we're going to create some information model. Okay, so you have two options to connect with the backend system and to do the development. One is that HANA Studio. So the HANA Studio is nothing but it's a modified version of Eclipse. Modify SAP has taken, because the Eclipse is the open source. SAP has taken Eclipse and he has modified version of Eclipse, and Eclipse has been modified based upon the requirement, based upon the SAP ABAP requirement. It has been modified based upon the the HANA related stuff. Also we can do HANA administration, uh, then ABAP development, then we have the different option over there. You can see the different perspective: HANA development, then HANA modeling perspective, HANA administrative perspective, HANA administrative. This is the Java. We have some HANA. This is the HANA administrative perspective. So different perspective, different functionalities there in ADT. Also almost all the functionality will get over there. Okay, so this is the HANA Studio where the Eclipse has been modified in such a way that it will meet the SAP requirement. Then we have the ADT on Eclipse. So what SAP has done over here, it has not modified the Eclipse. What you can do, you can download any Eclipse. Okay, or generally I have seen that it is Mars. Okay, Mars, or some new version also Oxygen, and all this also it is supporting. Okay, so Eclipse, Mars generally I have seen. So this you can download, or I think it can support to anyone. And then there is the add-on called ADT, ABAP Development Toolkit. On the SAP website, you can get it, the link for this, how to download, from where to download, and you can download and you can install into the Eclipse directly from the Eclipse itself. We have the option to install the ADT. From there, we can go and we can install this ADT. So here we are not going to modify the Eclipse. We are just using this ADT as a add-on, and this is also the same as the HANA Studio. So whatever the things we are going to do in the HANA Studio, the same we can do in the Eclipse with ADT also. Okay, maybe some difference will be there, but I don't know. Whatever I can perform in HANA Studio, I was able to do in ADT also. So
Okay.
specifically what is the different, maybe some different will be there, but this is the different what I know, that Eclipse is the complete Eclipse. On top of that, ADT is there, and here Eclipse itself is modified in order to make it HANA Studio. Here there is no edit, no add-on kind of stuff is there. Okay, so
Gotcha.
both the
Thanks.
same, yeah, both the thing we can achieve over there. Okay, and here I'm going to remove another project. It's not looking good. I'm just going to remove. So we don't have to remove in the actual system, because some other people would have created some project, but generally it will show your project only. Whatever the project you are going to create with your user ID, that will be shown over here. Okay, it's taking some time. Just wait for a second. So for me, I'm just going to delete extra project I don't require. Okay, so one project you have seen, that ABAP project. From there we have to give all the credential, and here just right click. So you can, what you can do, you can, if you want to create some program, you can just right click over here, click on this new, and go to this ABAP project. Okay, sorry, go to this other, and then you can type the program or report. So ABAP program, you can see, click on this next button, and you have to specify the package. So generally I'm going to give the $tmp local package, or if you have some productive package starting with Z or Y, you can give that one also. So Z MB 03, and I'm going to give over here some demo of one, Eclipse demo one. Okay, this is my Eclipse demo one. So whatever you are going to create the program from GUI, also you can check that one. Okay, so maybe up to 21 I have already created. So what I will do that APR 22, I'm just going to give demo 22 with HANA Studio HS. So give some description over here, HANA Studio demo. So in HANA Studio also we can create the program. Come over here, no transport request because this is the local package. Click on this finish button, and here you can see that now we have the place ready where we can write any kind of code. Okay, here some extra feature you will get in terms of write the coding. For example, I will show you when you are going to call the method. Okay, some method is there, for example CL demo output, right? So select some star from Mara into @data IT underscore tab. You can see automatically this this particular bracket has come, right? So such kind of feature you can enable over here. So some error at this point itself, it is telling you some error is there, right? So here you can put the cursor and you can see that incorrect nesting, it is telling that incorrect nesting is there. So such a handy feature you will get it over here. Okay, because this is the select star I'm just giving, and that's why it is. And here what area I'm using, so it's giving this error. I'm going to use the single so that it will not give me this error. Now CL demo output, CL demo output, and if you want you can give this control output. Actually I put the cursor, you will see that the last statement is not complete. So this error and one more error is there. Actually this class name is not correct. Okay, so output you can give, and now control space, it is giving all the function over here, same as in the SAP GUI also. Now this feature has been come. Okay, so here you can see this is the method, right? This is the interface starting with I, it is the interface, this is the method. Okay, all this is the method. So I'm using this display data. So here also we can use the same in the same way, and some enhanced feature is there. When we will start writing some code over here, we will understand. I also don't use mostly in real time this particular HANA Studio, but for CDS and AMDP you don't have any other options, so we have to come here itself and we have to do this coding. So here we can save it, then we can check the syntax. Here is the button to check the syntax. You can see that it is telling no, it does not contain any error. We can activate over here by clicking on this button. Okay, it got activated. Here it will show that it got activation is successful. And if you want to run it, simply you can press F8, and here you have the option to run it, run as ABAP application, and it will give you the output over here. And you can see the single record. So when it has to display the output it is calling to the SAP GUI screen, because HANA is not having its own screen to display the output. So it is calling through the RFC SAP screen only, and we are able to see the screen. So in SAP also you can SAP GUI also, from here you can open, you can go over here, you can click over here, click on this OK button, and here directly you can. So both the feature you can enjoy from here. Okay, the program, the data dictionary, whatever. Okay. Now in Eclipse, if you want to search something, you have this nice searching feature over here that globally you can search ABAP source search, right? So this feature is very powerful feature. Okay, the search option feature. And go back, go last, back to, this is going forward, right? So previous annotation. So here some annotation, if it is there, it will just tell you. Okay, so here if you want to open some object, you can open some object by clicking on this button. This button is very important if you have to open any kind of object. Okay, you don't have to go to any transaction, you don't have to go to any transaction, a single transaction. this one, open ABAP development object. Click on this button, and if you have to search some table, okay, or if you have to search some program, so Z, we have created some program Z03 ZMB03 APR. So all the program, it will get listed down over here. Okay, so from the single place you can search everything in the Hana Studio. Okay, just give me a second, I have to put the power, just a second. Okay, you are able to hear me, right? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Pankaj, we can
okay,
hear you.
thank you. So here we can see that okay, yeah, from here we can find out any object. Okay, so this is the ABAP development mode. You can see this is the ABAP development perspective. Different perspective is there. Okay, ABAP development perspective, mostly we are going to deal with ABAP development perspective, SAP HANA administrative perspective, SAP HANA development perspective, and we can use also SAP HANA modeler, and we will be learning about the HANA modeling. Okay, here you have one tool called ABAP profiling. Double click over here, this ABAP profiling, and what this tool actually will do, that yesterday we were talking about, that different kind of this one, different kind of dynamic check. Okay, so dynamic check, this is the static code check. We have already seen SAP code inspector, EPC, ATC, right? This is the static code check. From the GUI we have seen how this code is going to work, right? In SAP we have the option called ST05 to enable the SQL trace. Okay, to enable the SQL trace, we have this option. Now some more advanced feature has come with, for the same SQL trees. Okay, for the same SQL trees, you can enable the ABAP profiling and tooling. Actually this term is some coined as ABAP profiling as tooling. Okay, so if you want to create your own trace, then what you can do, you can select this one. Okay, the project you can select which you have created. Okay, so this is my system, and you can see what I have done, what the first step I have taken. I have went into here, I have gone into here, and from here I have selected the ABAP profiling. Once I have selected this one, this option got enabled. Okay, now I'm going to enable the trace. So for enabling the trace, I have to select this particular project over here, and here you will get one option, plus button. Okay, click on this plus button. It will tell you, the trace schedule. It will tell you when you want to schedule the trace, right? So generally when we use the ST05, there we tell that we have to first activate the trace. So this is something like that only. We are just going to activate the trace. Here different types of trace option you are having: web requests, reports and transaction. I'm going to use reports and transaction. This one based upon your requirement you can select from here: remote function, background job, shared object area, any. Okay, report and transaction we are going to use. I'm going to use the report. Name of the report, may be running some report over here, ZMB. Let me find out some good report which I can run it and I can uh, get the data from there. Just a second. Which report? Any report where I have written the select query. So I have to check such report, and that I'm going to give it over here. Go to this. So here we have some select query over there, right? Or maybe, yeah, maybe we can give this one 22, right? And for this report, I'm just giving the name of this report, client, and the here which restrictions should be applied. Here another field, the user, client, and all these things, right? The all server, current server, if you want to put, you can put the current server, or the all instances of the server, right? Which is we can see from SM51 all the instances of the server. So all the server, if you want to include all the server, we can put. How many times you can run this trace? This is telling 3 times we can run this trace. Schedule expires on, at this particular time it is going to uh, switch off this trace. Automatically it will get a switch off. There we have to go to manually and we'll have to switch up the trace. So here just I'm giving yeah, again some problem was there, light gone, sorry for that.
No, no, no problem.
Yeah, so here now you can see that we are having the different option. Just a second. Yeah, so here the name of the title of the trace file, whatever you want, you can put it over here. Okay, 3 times the time I have given over here. Some more time I'm just going to increase. Click on this next button, and here the different option you are having: perform aggregated measurement. So here the first option you can see, no, I need the call sequence. So it will tell you each layer of the trace. That means if a function module, if inside a function module, if some subroutine is there, and inside that subroutine some another subroutine is there, okay, in that subroutine, inside that subroutine, if some another subroutine is there, so it is going to tell you about everything if you are going to choose this particular uh, radio button. Okay, so the large file size you can see here, because everything if it is going to show you, so it will become large file size here. Yes, I need the aggregated call. So aggregated call means it will tell you on the first particular entry point. Suppose if main function module is going to call some subroutine, so it will tell you at the subroutine level only. It will not go into the deeper and deeper and all. Okay, and here it will tell that hit list is sufficient, means just will tell you what are the artifacts it is going to uh, means hit. Okay, I'm selecting the second one, the medium one. Which ABAP statement should be traced? So procedural units SQL, right? So I'm selecting the first one here. Second one also we can select procedural units SQL and internal tables. Only procedural units custom statement. Second one we can select one. It's self-explanatory, right? It's a we can understand from here, right? The details, procedural units, SQL database access to internal tables. So what you want it to cover, what you want to get it traced. So from here, so automatically it is fine. I don't want to select this DIN Pro events, other ABAP events. It is not required. Mainly we will be bothering about from performance point of view, this one. Okay. When should trace start? Immediately? That's fine. Maximum execution time, maximum till how much time it should, run. That's why. And the maximum file size, the 30 MB. Then click on this finish button, and now trace will get a start. Okay, you can see that trace is now active. Okay, trace is now active. Okay, and here you can see that execution is 0/3, means none of the this trace I have not run any of the time. So once I will run that program, so go to this program. I will go into this you know uh, ABAP project, and from there, just a second, I'm trying to go over there. Okay, so go into the ABAP development perspective, and that particular program name I'm just going to open. Control V, ZMB 20, what was the program name? ZMB03 star demo star. So here we are having the program name 20. This is the program. Click on this OK button. No, it was the 21. So ZMB03, and we have the program number 21. Sorry, this is also not, it was the 22. So ZMB, and I will go for 03 APR and 22, but it's not coming. This 22 is here, right? So this was the program. Just going to run this program, activate this one. It got activated. It is activated already, and now I'm going to press F8. Okay, it is giving some 2 or 3 times. Maybe I can go and I can execute it over here. I will go to this ABAP profiling perspective just to show you. Go to this perspective and refresh this one. You will be having one option to refresh. Just refresh this, and you can see that one has come over here. That means one time you have executed that program. Okay, again, if I'm going to run this program, I will go to this development perspective. Okay, close the extra session. I'm just closing the extra session which is not required. Okay, now run once again, press F8. So second time it has been also, and the third time also. The 3 times I've given the limit, so maximum 3 times we can do. So third time also I have done. So the 3 times it has been executed, and now if we go to the profiling and we'll refresh this one, you know uh, click on this refresh button, and you can see the 3 times here. It will show you that 3 times it has been completed the execution. Okay, 3/3 it is showing over here. Now if you want to see the detail, double click over here, and here you can see for each 3 time, it is showing you that what is the program name, and it will capture only this program because I have activated the trace only for this program. And if you want to see the detail, then double click over here, and it will show you the detail. Okay, so it will just open a new window, and there it will show you the detail. Here you have the nice detail. Okay, You can see here that you have one nice chart also. 85% of the time has been taken at the ABAP layer, 14% of the time it has taken on the database layer, and 1% time has been taken by the system. Okay, so this chart option you will not get in ST05 of the SAP ABAP GUI, but here we have this option. Okay, here the analysis tool you have, or here the aggregated call tree available. Click on this button, it will tell you this the first program. This is my main program, it has called this particular system program, and after that dispatcher has sent call this particular method, web manager has called this particular method, and then the high level overview it is just telling you, right? You can see now that here this program got called, and this program is calling the class constructor whatever CL demo output, because I'm calling the CL demo output to just show the output. So first, as the general concept, it will call the class constructor, then if the constructor is available it will call the, you know, because it's not an instantiation directly, I'm calling the static method, that's why it's calling the class constructor only, right? Write, set, static handler, all these things it is showing. And fine, so here what we can do, we can go and analyze the data. If you want to analyze the stack, how the program has been, you know, you can see how nicely it is showing you like how the program flow was there, right? So from the CL demo output, right, constructor called, then display got called, right? So all these things we can see from here how the program has been flown. So this is there, all statements within this program. Here these statements got called, it got created, executed, then this CL demo output uh, is getting is getting executed. So like that, from here we can identify. Let's go back. uh, Here the different option you can also see the overview. This is the overview we are having. In the overview we are getting this option, the condensed hit list. In this condensed hit list you will be able to see what are the database got hitted. Okay, no, it's the high level overview, it is telling what are the methods, what is the function module. So in that I have used only one select query, I have not used any function module kind of stuff, that's why we are not able to see our own function module. But if we're going to use our own function module, we will be able to see it over there. Okay, we can see over there hit list. In this hit list again we can see uh, what are the database. Also we can see the internal table, which internal table. So these are the internal table, it has been used over there in that particular class and all in the standard one. Aggregated call tree, right? This is what we have seen. Database accesses, the total database, what are the database got uh, you know called, that it is telling. So you can see that I'm first deleting from the demo expressions, I'm inserting the data. So this kind of stuff we are having over here. So all the table during that program which was hit, the list of those table it is showing over here. So same almost ST05, like ST05 only, but some extra feature we are having over here, like this graphical representation. This is one extra feature, right? This is also the nice one over here, the aggregated call list we are able to see. So it's we can tell that it's the combination of ST05 and SE30. Okay, it's a combination of SE05 and SE30. Okay, it's giving you like that. Okay, some part the performance point of view, like if you want to see the time also, it is showing us over here the database accesses. For the database access for the call tree, the total time it is showing. So it's a combination of nothing but ST05 and SE30. So similar to ST12. Let's go in the normal GUI, and there also we will see the ST05, and then you will be able in the situation to better compare with those tool. Okay, come over here, go to here, and first I will select some good program so that it will be easy for us to do. I have created uh, some program ZMB Gayatri BTC. Press F4. sorry, MB is not there. Okay, so this one BDC program is there. Okay, in this some routine is also there, some select query is also there, some display. So this is, I think this is the good one which we can consider as of now at least. So this program I will be running /o SE30 at ST05. Okay, so some tool we are just going to check it, okay, how it's going to work. So let's start with the first tool, that is the STAD. STAD. So this is basically the tool used by the basis people, okay, to analyze the system load. So if you have to check how your system is doing the performance, how the system is behaving in real time, okay, so you can go into the STAD tool and you can give the date and time, whatever you are going to give the length, it will take the previous 10 minutes and after 10 minutes. Okay, so the range will be of total 20 minutes. If it were going to give the 20 over here, then it will take the previous 20 minutes and the next 20 minutes. Okay, so how the system has been done in last 20 minutes, okay, in before, so whatever the time, if we're going to give over here, for example currently it's 8 uh, now the time, suppose I'm going to give 8:00, so 7 from 7:40 to 8:20 it will capture and it will give us the result. If you want to see some user specific result, some transaction specific, some program specific, that we can give it over here. Okay, the server selection, we can select the server from here. Additional options also we are having, right? So this is additional option, that's fine. Server selection is okay, we can choose the server selection. And some another, I have not used this particular STAD transaction. Mostly this is being used by, from performance point of view, by the and here you will be having one option called select the trace, but here I'm not getting any option over here. Okay. Click on this OK button. Yeah, actually this OK button will have to click, not that option. That option will get in ST03. Okay, so here you can see once you click the enter or on this particular button, then what will happen, that it will show you that for this particular server, what are the program in those time period has run and how many times it has run. Okay, so for this particular program, RS-ABAP program, this RS-ABAP program is nothing but the program for SE38. So SE38 is the transaction for this particular program. So it is telling that this program has run by which work process. It tells you the work process number. Okay, and here the response time, how much time it has taken in order to give you response in millisecond. Okay, and here the this is also for the work processes time. It is showing us for the dialog work process it has taken 5 seconds, so total response time is the 5 seconds. So when the dispatcher starts giving the gives, when dispatcher sends the request to the work process, and when the work process return back to the dispatcher with the data, those time frame it calculates. Okay, this is the response time, that's the response time, this is the work process time. So the same, it is the same, right? The wait time, there is no wait time, there is no CPU time, because SE38 there is no such manipulation or something like that. Memory used, it is telling how much memory it has used, this particular program. So this information, all such kind of information can be realized. Generally basis people use this transaction, and this is known as single statical record overview. So this transaction this transaction stands for system statical record analysis. Okay, so if you have to analyze the system, how your system is going to do, right, you can use this particular transaction. I will show you how my jet program has been done in my last day. So what I can do, I can start with jet over here. Okay, and jet star, I will give the date over here, date uh, the length here, we can increase the length, maybe this is minutes and this is the seconds. Okay, so here hour 12 hours, so last 12 hours how my 12 this program, how my jet program has done. 7 June 2060, I'm going to give 05 June. Okay, the time I will simply give 00, so it will cover the last 12 and further 12 hours. Okay, jet star, this is fine. System selection, it is okay. Click on this OK button, and here we didn't get anything. Okay, it is not showing some parameter. Is it? We have to provide some another parameter. I'm not sure. Yeah, we got this time some program during those time frame. Okay, I'm not exploiting using this one, but just I'm trying to tell you, if you want to see, if you do some analysis over here, you will be able to see how your system is doing and how your program is doing the performance. If some program performance is very bad, you will get this time frame over here, very large time frame, and then you can go into that program and you can check, because if some program is taking more time, that means that is not good. So we can choose that program, or if some program is taking large memory, that also we can choose and we can try to optimize that program. So this is one aspect of STAD. Okay, fine. Let's go to the ST03. That is, the transaction is known for the load status. Okay, system load status. Go to /n ST03. Okay, so this is the transaction ST03. This transaction we can use. This is also generally used by the basis people, but we also generally use. I have also used many times this transaction to analyze the workload, like how my system is doing the performance, or if I have to sometimes in support project, right, or in implementation, you come across the requirement that some program or your system is going to very slow. Okay, so we don't know, generally this mostly it is going to be again used by the basis, but we also want to check which program is going to do the, going to have the performance impact. Okay, so what we can do, we can go into the expert mode, click on this expert mode, and after going into the export mode, it will tell us the time frame. Click on this total button. Okay, and here the day it will tell which day you want to analyze. So I want to analyze the 6 June 2020. Double click over here, so it will tell you on 6 June 2020 which program has run. Okay, so here you can see the task type name. This is the name of the task type: HTTP, buffer, RFC, spool, update. So different task type we are having. Generally we go to the all data. Okay, from here we check, like if some program, right? So let me show you. Here we have the workload overview. It is just telling you like how much the dialog work process, means how many times the screen related. So suppose I'm doing some action on on this screen, so that is going to cover on this dialog work process. Okay, those that will be counted under these steps. HTTP, how from, means how many times from the internet or from the browser this request has come to this particular system. So 3 times, 6 times. So maybe someone might be using some OData services kind of stuff. Those 3 times or 6 times it is showing. The 6 time it got the call. RFC, there are so many RFC generally getting used inside the program. So it is telling 4,743 times. This steps is nothing but the time, how many times the RFC is getting called. And the overall performance can be seen over here, the how much the DB time it is taking, right? So from here we get some idea. But suppose if we have to get some G related program, so transaction profile standard, here we'll be having one option of a G report or transaction. Okay, just a second, I'm trying to find that option. Standard, yeah. So here you can see the transaction profile. Actually this is the option. Generally we go over here, and here the report or transaction name.
right? We are having the report and transaction name. And if you are interested in your G report, how your G report is doing, what you can do that, because we are not going to bother about, the standard report. A standard will be taken care by SAP, right? If you are feeling that a standard is taking so much time, we can raise a OSS note, we can raise a OSS message. That is possible. Go to this filter option and Z star. I'm going to search. So these are my program, and just I want to see that how many times this program. So Jade Faisal BDC, this is one program. It was executed 99 times. Okay. Jade 03 April demo 18. It was executed on this particular day 56 times, and total response time, you can see this is the total response time. So single response time, if you want to see for each program for the single time, we can divide this response time by this 99, we can get. Okay, so this is how we can observe from here. Okay, so generally what we do, we go into this all data, and suppose if you want to analyze the JET program only, so what we will do, that we will filter the data from here for the JET, and we will download in a Excel. Okay, and from there we just try to find out which particular program is going to take the more time. Okay, so for each step, if some program is taking the more time, uh, okay, so we just divide this one 1067 by 99, it will get the average time, and whichever is having the average time more, we will pick those program and we will try improving this one. So this is one tool, but this is mostly effective for basis people. We can also sometimes use this one in order to, when we the performance come into the picture, that time we come and we can see. So it's easily readable, there is no problem. I have created this document also, one note kind of things, for ST03. You can go and you can check the ST03. Yeah, here you can see. So the step-by-step procedure I have written, like how you can go to the all data and you can download over there, right? Then you have to filter on Y star and Z star. If some DB time is going to greater than 70% and change time is going to be less than, so it's a simple procedure, you can try yourself. Okay, but this is how it's going to do. Go to this new, and the important one which we mostly used, right? We are having, let's give some theoretical aspect over here, and then I will go ahead. Okay, so we have seen that STAD generally used by basis, but we should have idea. Then ST03, this is for workload analysis. Workload analysis, this we can use sometimes, but mostly going to be used by basis. This is the system statistical report. System, how the system is doing. A statistical report. Okay, used by basis. This one also mostly is going to be used by basis only. Now we are having the ST05. Okay, ST05 is very frequently used one. It was used to get earlier so frequently. Okay, when we were not having ST12, and ST12 is very powerful. We will see about that one also. Let's start from ST05. So ST05, this is also known as SQL trace. Okay, so to enable the SQL trace, what we do generally, okay, let me show you first ST05. Then we are having the SAT. So this is the new one, SE30. So if you want to drill down at the ABAP code level, if you want to measure the performance, if you want to measure the performance, this is a very nice tool, SE30. Okay, but this is the old one. So the new one for SE30, SAP has given this SAT. Okay, so some more feature over there, some more user friendly kind of stuff. You can see some extra feature in this SAT. Okay, so a replacement of SE30. Okay, then SE30 we have seen SAT, and now the most powerful, the combination of all these three, you can see that we are having the ST12. So nowadays in industry this ST12 is mostly used. Okay, this is the latest uh, transaction, latest T code in terms of performance measurement, in terms of performance measurement. This is what I have been using. Maybe some other would have also come, I'm not sure, but this is the one I'm I know that most of the people is using nowadays. Okay, I have been also using this ST12. So this is the combination of SE30, SAT, and ST12 is the combination of all these three, ST05, SE30, and SAT. So just I will write it over here, that ST05 plus SE30, and SE30 is nothing but SAT only, right? This is the, so we can write ST05 and SAT, SE30. Come over here and we will see quickly this one. We'll complete this one so that in next class we will start the some new topic, maybe information model or open item analysis scenario with the conventional way and with the new open SQL. So we'll be able to see how much performance we can gain with the help of code push down. So that we will see in our next class. So we will complete this particular topic in today's class. Let's try. So you can see that this is the ST05. So what's the step we generally follow? In interview also they sometimes ask what is the step you follow in order to in order to enable the ST05, or if you have to take the trace with the help of ST05, what are the steps you will have to follow. Okay, so it depends on your requirement. Again, generally we use the SQL trace, because whenever the performance come into the picture, mostly we are bothering about the SQL trace. So by default the SQL trace will be there. After that, activate trace, I am going to click over here, activate. Once you click on this activate trace, you can see that trace for this particular user got activated. Okay, come over here, and then this is one program, Jade Guide 3 demo I have choose. I will just going to run this particular program. It's asking for some file. I'm just giving this file. I don't know if this file is there or not. Okay, some breakpoint, press F8. Okay, so it has been executed. Okay, this particular program has been executed, but I'm not sure if the file is there or not. But one file is there, this file. I will run this one, remember. Okay, press F8 and this is fine. Okay, now we will see that how what's going to happen. So come over here, I will deactivate the trace now, because now I have executed the transaction. Now click on this display trace. Okay, it will show you all the list. Click on this F8 button, and now you can see that it is showing you about all the trace, everything, whatever it has captured. Okay, whatever it has captured, it is showing you everything. So I'm interested about my G report. I'm just trying to find out about my G report. I'm not but you can see the BDC what I have run over there, the BDC program only. Let me search, or I will just simply sort it with Z. Okay, go here, so that I will identify at the top my G program. Come over here and you can see this is my program. So it is telling this particular program, and what are the select statement in this program is executed. So this is the select statement in the program I have used. Okay, so I will tell you which program actually I have used this in this program. Okay, so this is the system generated statement. I have also, there is no select statement in this program which has been used by me. You can see there is no, This is everything the different one. In this program, there is no select statement. Let me verify once again, because all the statement it is showing there the system generated statement. Get file name. Okay, this is fine. I will search globally some select statement I have written or not. There is no select statement, that's why it is not showing me. So just to showcase over here, I'm just going to use some select statement. Select matnr, and then maybe mtart, and then mbrsh from mara into table at the rate data it underscore tab. Okay, full stop. Just a second. Okay, some question is there. Hi Pankaj, how much is the... Okay, I will let you know about this. Okay, fine. So okay, come over here. I have written this particular statement over there, because if you see the nature of the statement over here, this is not mandt program name. Such kind of select query I have not written, and generally we don't write such kind of select query, right? But now activate this one. I have activated, and once again I'm going to activate the trace, and I will run this one, so that at least one select query I will be able to trace. Activate this trace once again, right? Come over here, run this. Okay, and I'm going to run this one. It has run. Come back. Okay, and now click on this. Sorry, deactivate first, deactivate trace, and then AMC trace is not activated. Sorry, I don't know whether it was properly covered or not. Let me see. Going to uh, do the sorting in descending order, so that my G program will see at first. Okay, so it is there, and this time also I'm not able to see my program. The select query, I don't know. The mara, you can see the mara table, it is there, right? And here this is my the FDA read. You can see yesterday we are talking about the FDA read. Why it is telling the FDA read? It is telling fast data access mode is enabled. Okay, so for this mara is the object on which I have put the select query, and it has faced 664 records, and the duration, how much time it has taken, also this also it is telling. If you double click over here, it will tell you the how the it is explaining about the select query. You can see that matnr I have selected, mtart I have selected, and mbrsh I have selected. And if FDA is enabled, it will come like this. FDA read, it will come that FDA is enabled, fast data access mode is enabled. Which table? The mara table. The where condition, this one. With range restriction, the current. In where condition I have not given anything, that's the problem, right? So in where condition, automatically it will take the data from the current client. Okay, automatically it will get the data from the current client. So in mandt, you can see the question mark is over here. So what is the value for this question mark? So you can come over here, and in sequence it will give you the value for the question mark. So the first question mark can be replaced by the first value over here. So first value is this one, 800. So 800 is over here. If you have some multiple question mark over here, so in the sequence, first question mark you can replace with this one, the first variable. Second question mark, for the second variable it will give as many as variable, it will give as many as the question mark. Number depends on the number of question marks, this number of variables. Okay, so the number of question marks, the number of total variables here, it will be displayed with the value equal to the number of question mark. Okay, you can just go, and here you can see the one explain button, display execution plan. If you see over here, if you want to just do the detailed analysis, you can come over here and you can see that what is the execution plan. So here you don't have to put more effort over there, and you can see that matnr, mtat, mbrss, and from mara table mandt equal to 800, right? We have this one, right? And here the operation column search, it will tell you what kind of searching it is doing when it is going to fetch the data. So because it's the column table, right, it's the column store. Mara table is a column store table, so it's doing the column search over there. The options, it is telling what are the fields you are getting from which field, right? So Mara matter, Mara mtart, Mara mbrsh. Filter condition is telling that where condition is 800 over here, on which object we have put the select query, it is telling. And the explain is end over here. Execution trace also you can, if you want to download this execution trace, just select on this button and it will just download it. Okay, so uh, XML. Okay, this is just edit with notepad, and you can see here this is the execution trace in the XML format. It is there. So sometimes it may be required. Okay, but I have not used this one. Leave it. Come over here and let us see what we can use the frequently over here. But this graphical explain, sometimes we use this graphical explains. It will tell you the nice graphics how the execution plan has been there, right? So in a separate DBA cockpit, you can see the DBA cockpit, it is opening. This is my application server name, right? 820T. So automatically uh, it will actually give you the system is deactivated in system configuration. Okay, some configuration is missing, otherwise it will give you the graphical representation. Okay, for this it is not showing as of now, but in real time you can just check it. It will give about that graphic. So this is all about, the overall wholesale idea, wholesale purpose is over here, that just to make you understand how you can see over here. Just you can put first you can filter your G program from here, and if you want to find out which particular program is taking most time, right? So G program, generally we are going to put the select query, generally we are going to put the filter on the G, because mostly we are going to bother about the G program SQL statement, and then we are going to select. So if you have a large program, this is a small program, so here we are getting only few records. But in the large program, or if we're going to give some package over there, and if we are going to execute the program in those package, some 4 or 5 hours like that, you have just activated your SQL trace, right? And then you will be having the large amount of data for G program also. Okay, and then what we can do, that we can click on the sorting option. So the first program, this one, it is telling that it is taking the maximum time, right? So we can find out from this. You can put the cursor over here, and one ABAP option here, you can see the detail. Click on this detail button. It is telling that what actually uh, this one actually I'm not talking about. I'm trying to directly jump from here to the ABAP editor. One option we will be having, uh, if I double click, no, so directly it will tell you the place where the code has been written. Okay, so where is that particular place? Display call hierarchy, and you can see that if this particular place where it has been called, also this particular option, if you cannot fully do for the statements selected trace record. Okay, okay, I think this is. So generally what it will tell you, what it will do, that if you want to see the call hierarchy from which particular place this call has been called, this particular statement has been called, it shows. Okay, so now display statement, is it? No, this is not the one. Views, this is find subtotals, set filter. I've just double click on this Mara table. Actually we are supposed to, I'm trying to show if some statement is very costly, here some another detail we are having, how much total lines and all, right? Index related, there are so many things. Okay, display table, an important thing I'm trying to show you over here, that yeah, This one actually I was trying to show you that this particular statement is taking more time than where is this statement written. So simply we'll have to double click on this program name, and this is the statement which is taking more time. So we can analyze over here with the help of ATC or code inspector, and we can check that there is no where condition. It will tell you that we have not written any where condition over there, and this is a big table. For this much big table, why I'm not using any where condition? So we have to give some where condition, and we have to restrict those. So by this way you can find the potential places with the help of ST05. Okay, so let me go back. So this is all about the ST05. There are so many things you can explore in this ST05. Now go to SE30. Okay, so here you can see when I'm going to the SE30, it is giving me the option. There is a new transaction SAT for the runtime analysis. So SE30 is nothing but for the runtime analysis. So for the runtime analysis, we are having the new SAT. We can come over here, the new SAT, or if you still want to go into the SE30 itself, we'll have to choose that option. Come over here, old SE30. You can see the old SE30. Let's go to the new SE30, new transaction SAT, and we will see one demo over here. Here what you can do, that you can create your own variant. So this is the default variant, and if you want to see the data in the default variant, duration and type, you can see the aggregation, size, limits, options. You can read these statements, what kind of trace you want to find. Function model, if you want to trace, you want to trace the event, or if you want to trace only the open SQL. So you have in the default, this is the default profile, it is there. If you want to create your own profile, so Z test profile, Z, I'm just going to create ZMB20 ZMB03 APR. Click on this create button. Okay, and go to this statement, and here I want to only trace about the open SQL and native SQL, and let me only about these function modules. If you want to see the flow logic, that also you can. Flow logic, if you want to a screen, I don't want to trace the screen, that's fine. Whatever the internal table I want to trace, so based upon your requirement, what you can do, you can select miscellaneous, further ABAP statement, that's fine. Statistics, it is okay. Now export import I don't. So based upon your requirement, you can create your parameter, and then you can click on this execute button, right? So Gayatri BDC is my program name. Automatically it is coming from the shared memory, this value, right? Click on this execute button, give the file name from here, and press F8. Press F8, it got executed. Go back, it will collect the trace. You can see that it is collecting the trace, right? And here you can see that it is telling you that how your program execution was there. This the function module was called, then call function, right? If you can double click over here, it will tell you that this is the all the call function, all the function module during the program which was called over here, it will tell you. Okay, now the subroutine, what are the subroutine it has called? You can see these are the subroutine. This is the performance statement has been called. All the methods, if you want to see what are the methods got called, so it will give you an overview. Now come to the hit list. What are the uh, particular, for example, here you can see that this is the system event. It is similar to, you can observe, just we have seen into this ABAP profiling and tracing over here. It is something like that, right? So come over here, Alt tab, and here the different statement, different open SQL, select query, call, such kind of statement. If you are interested in some select query, that also you can put the filter over here, some select. If some select will be there, press, where you can see the all the select query, you can see. And you can, if you want to see that which select query is taking more time, just sort from here. Okay, and this select query is taking more time. And here we can, calling program. So the calling program, we can filter on the Z, and we can identify in this way that which G program. Here it is not showing in the G program. Let me check. where I have put the filter. Just a second. Sorry, I have put at the wrong place the filter. Select a star, and you can see I'm supposed to put the filter over here on the calling program. Put the filter on the calling program Z star. I have to. So there is no Z star program which is calling any select statement which is taking more time. So it is fine. Let me check with the. I will put the filter once again. So generally it is supposed to show here the calling program and the program called over here. This I will define the value. I will remove this JD star from here and I will put it over here so that I will see if some JD star is creating some problem. We don't have any JD star list, so it's fine. Okay. I just came out. Come to this evaluation list. This option will tell you the last, the last result, whatever you have found, it will having the result. So I'm just coming from here. By mistake I have gone back, so again I have to come over here. Hit list we have seen. So here in the hit list, the program called, which are the program got called. From here we can uh, put the select query and we can see this is the Z Gayatri BDC and how it has been there. So DB table, if you want to see what are the DB table is going to get hit and it is taking the maximum time. So here you can see we can just sort in the you know sorted, and here the second Mara I'm using in my Jet program, right? So it is telling, it will tell over there where it is taking the time. If you double click over here, it will take you the place where select query is there on the Mara. Double click over here or here, I think uh, it will take you actually that particular place. We have one option from here also to go. It's okay. I'm trying to right click over here, details, set filter, subarea in terms pools. Okay, I think it is not there some option to go, but in you know ST12 you have the option. If you double click over there on the list, you can go directly. Here also this option is there. Okay, so where that particular code is written which is taking more time, from here we can go. So the fetch Mara, you can see the it is taking over here. So from this particular list we are able to come, but from here we are not. And from the profiling you can see the profile, you can see, and the times. If you want to analyze the time, which time has taken over here, so the net time you can put the you can put the sort order over here and you can see which particular statement has taken more time. So this is the system generator, we can't do anything. So our own statement we can see that if we can do something in our own statement. So db call, so like that we'll have to analyze. Okay, we'll have to open cursor Mara, you can see the Mara over here it's taking, and double click over here, it will take you the place over here which is taking. So it will tell you, if you double click over here, it will tell you whether this is a standard program or custom program. So if it is a custom program, we can go and we can check like if we can improve something over there. Okay, so the maybe last 20 records you can consider for the improvements. Net, you have to put the sorting on the net, just you have to take care, you don't have to put on the gross will not tell you the particular point where you have to. So top 20 records maybe you can consider. So under the top 20, this Mara, or top 50 you can consider, and double click over there, you can go and you can see that it is the standard. So if it is the standard, we can just ignore, there is no point. But if it is the custom, we can think once if we can improve something over there, right? So this is how the SAT is there. And then most powerful is ST12. I don't think so I will be able to complete this ST12 today. This is more interesting and I want to cover this one in little detail, and I would encourage you to use this ST12. This is very good, very nice. It is having lot many feature, so many things, so many different option, current mode, user task mode, work process mode. If you want, you can schedule it from here. A statical record, see a statical STAD transaction feature also you can use from here, a statical records, right? The so many things we are having, we will see in more detail in our coming classes, okay, here. But just to understand, whatever we have discussed in all those previous transaction, everything is over here, everything is over here, okay. Everything we can use it over here in this transaction ST12. If we have to take the trace, I would also suggest you to do some practice while doing for taking the trace using the mostly ST05, SE30 and SAT. ST03 and STAD is not required, that is optional. If you want you can do, but I would suggest you to try to analyze some data, create some custom program, or if you have some program in your development system, you can just execute that one and just have a look, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Or maybe you might be already knowing about this ST12, but still I will have to cover this one as part of this course, so that fresher can get the advantage, or the person who is not knowing about this transaction, okay. So I will cover in little detail this ST12, how we can effectively use this ST12, okay, and how powerful this is to measure the performance. So many, you can see the ABAP trace, it will tell you the SE30 related thing, the performance traces, it will give you the ST05 related SQL summary, ST05 statical records, STAD transaction. So from one place you are going to achieve everything, okay. That's the power of ST12, that's the power of ST12. With this, let's stop our today's session and we will meet in the next session. And if you have any query, please feel free to ask. I'm open to discuss any kind of question over here. We'll discuss it together, we will learn together, okay. Any question if you have?
Yeah, could you please upload that PowerPoint so that till what we have covered today, so that it will be helpful for us to go through and to learn.
Yeah, sure, I will do that one. I will do this PowerPoint program. I have already uploaded all the program yesterday, and videos all are there at place, okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So okay,
And
so
one
in the
final
next
question.
class, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
how much is the monthly fee, Pankaj, for this to get access? Just like to know to get access for the system.
For this system, I have taken from 1,000 rupees per month. This
Per month.
particular system,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay,
for 1 month, per month 1,000. Okay.
okay, okay, okay.
So
Fine.
Hyderabad people generally provide. If you want, I can share you the number. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thanks.
no problem. So the next class we are going to discuss, ST12. This will be our main agenda of the next class. Okay, and then we will see the open item analysis scenario with with conventional way, means with the normal way. Suppose one fresher is going to do the coding to find the open item analysis scenario. This scenario, first we will describe what is this scenario, what is this requirement, and then we will try to achieve this requirement with the help of the coding, first with the normal way, and then we'll go with the code push down approach. So the first code push down approach what we will follow, that is the open SQL. Okay, fine. So this is the next class agenda. Please be available, everyone. So let's meet in the next class. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you.